Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're actually finished with this upload video functionality. Our video is uploading, we're converting it to the right file, we're generating thumbnails, we're getting the duration and things like that. The only thing left to do then is a couple of finishing touches. So go back to your text editor, and in Video Processor, we're actually done with this file now, but just before we close it down, go to your upload function and just make sure you did put this return true here. After these if statements here, these four, make sure you have this return true outside of there, okay? If you do, go ahead and close that down. We should be good now. So go to your processing.php file, alright, so processing.php, and scroll down. You see I made a little comment here last time. Check if upload was successful. So the way we're going to do that is real simple, just a quick if statement. We're going to say if, and then was successful, this variable over here, because this variable will contain true or false, depending on whether this upload function returned true or false, okay? So if was successful is true, which is what this means, if was successful. We can just say echo upload successful. Okay, so upload successful. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to print this if the upload was successful. Now you can do other things with that. Maybe you want to go to a different screen or show a better message. But for now, we're just going to say upload successful. And that's it. Done. So give that a save. And now we won't see that blank screen whenever we upload successfully. We'll see that message instead now. And then the very last thing to do is when we upload before, you've probably noticed that we see like nothing. So if I press upload, you'll just see the screen just pauses, and this icon up here is spinning around, which lets us know it's processing something. But what we can do instead is show a loading spinner, like an animation instead. And what we're going to do is use a Bootstrap modal pop-up, okay, which will just show, and it will show a loading spinner, so the user knows something's happening. So go to Google, and let's look for a Bootstrap loading spinner. Bootstrap, let's say modal instead actually. Bootstrap modal, let's do that. So Bootstrap modal, I'll click on the first one. So this doc component / modal. And then I know the one I want. I'm going to go to this vertically centered part right here. So I'll click on vertically centered, takes you to this code here. And if I click on this, launch, you'll see it's a vertically centered modal, so to center horizontally and vertically, with a title, some buttons, and some text. Okay, so I'm going to close that down. I'm going to copy all this code. So I'm copying that code there, just the modal part, not this, not the button part. So just copy the modal, and then go back to your text editor, and in upload.php, I'm going to paste this underneath there. So above the includes footer, but below the column. So paste that in there. And what I'm going to do is remove the footer. We don't want that. This is what has the buttons, but this isn't a modal where the user is going to interact. So we don't need the buttons. And I'm going to also delete this header part as well. This is where the title was and the close button, but we don't want that either. So all we're going to do is have this body in here. So take a good look at this and make sure you've got the right elements. Okay. And I'm going to write some text inside this modal body part. I'm just going to say, please wait, this might take a while, just like that. Okay, so please wait, this might take a while. So what I'm also going to do is add a loading spinner to this as well, which is a little animated GIF, which just has a little spinning icon. I have one already. If you copied my images from one of the other previous videos, you'll see that in the images folder, we have this underneath icons, we have this loading spinner GIF. And if I show you what that looks like, it's this thing. You can find your own one from Google Images. If you just Google loading spinner GIF, you'll find tons of them. So maybe you want to use your own, or you can download the course content and use this one, but you may already have it if you already copied all these images. But anyway, this is what I'm going to use, loading spinner GIF. So I'm copying that name, and then what I'm going to do is go back to here, and underneath this text, I'm going to add an image and put my src, which is the source of the image, and it's in the assets / images / icons, and then the file is loadingspinner.gif, like that. And if you want to make sure this is correct, you can copy that URL right there, and then go back to here. And if I go back to my site, and instead of having the page there, if I paste assets, images, icons like that, I can see that it's the correct one. So that's just an easy way to tell if the path is correct or not. Okay, so great. This is the modal, it's done, but we need to actually just add a little bit of code which is going to show it when the form is submitted. And it's really simple. We're just going to say script, and then underneath that I'm putting my closing script block off. So it's just one little bit of JavaScript, or jQuery I should say. We're going to create a jQuery object using a $ and parentheses. In double quotes, we're going to say form, which is the selector. So this is applied to all the forms on this page, which is only one, so the only form. We're going to say form.submit. And then we just need to say function like this. Okay. So what this is saying is when the form is submitted, do this code, so execute this function, and all we want to do is show this modal here. So how do we do that? Well, it's really simple. We just take the ID of this part and then say dot show. But I'm going to change the ID. This isn't a really good one, so I'm going to say loading modal, like that. Okay, just loading modal. Okay, and what I'm also going to do is copy that ID, move across to here, and for the area labeled by, I'm just going to paste that as well. So same in area labeled by. Okay, that's it. So up here, we can call this in just one line of code. We can say $ parentheses in double quotes. We're going to put the ID, which is loading modal. Okay, we just named it right here, loading modal, and simply just say modal parentheses and just put show inside double quotes, and that's it. That will show the modal now. So give that a save, okay, and then go back to here and let's refresh the page, and then let's try and upload a file. So I'm going to upload the same file that I always have been doing. So let's put some text in there too, and then click upload, and we should see a loading modal appear, which we do. Please wait, this might take a while. And that's it, it works. So as soon as this has uploaded, this should disappear. And it shouldn't really disappear, it should, we should go to the next page, so you won't see this anymore, okay? And the problem is though, if I click outside of this, it gets rid of it. So you can see that it's still uploading here, although when I clicked away from it, the modal disappeared, and now we can do other stuff with the page, which we don't want to be able to do. The user can still interact with all this, but they can press the upload button again. So to prevent them doing that, if you go back to here, in your upload.php, if we scroll up to the end of this modal right here, after the area hidden true at the end, we just need to add two attributes to this. We can say data backdrop equals static, like that, so in double quotes. So data backdrop static, and one more, we just want to say data keyboard equals false. So what do these two do? Well, this one here prevents the modal from closing when the user clicks out of it, and this one here prevents the user being able to close the modal on keyboard press. So this is just a way to prevent the user from closing the modals down, okay? And that should be it. So give that a save now. And then we see upload successful, which is that new output message we did, so that's great. But let's go and upload it again. And now with those changes, we shouldn't be able to click outside of there to close the modal down. So let's have a go. I'll upload the same video again, give that a click. Okay, so I'll click upload, and we shouldn't be able to click outside the modal to close it down. So I'll click outside of it, we can't close it. If I press escape, we still can't close it. So this is staying here, and we can't close it down. So that's great, all right? So there's no way the user can close this down now. They have to wait until it's done, which is good for us. So that's it, our upload process is done. When this is finished uploading, we'll be taken to the next page and the user will be able to interact with the screen again.